was just coming to talk to you about this exact problem.
It's called permafrost for a reason, right? Because it's permanently frozen.
I mean, it would help us a lot if it was more than like 35 degrees for at least like 4 hours.
We need some warm weather.
Imagine, brother, you are inside an old, dark, unique forest. The air is heavy, and there is only one sound coming from all around. Crack, crack, as if the ground is breaking apart. And then, suddenly, boom! The whole mining collapses. Everyone is running. There is a cloud of garbage, and one feels that everything is over. But this accident brings such a turn for Parker Schnabel that can change the game of the entire Gold Rush show. When the garbage settles, everyone's eyes are blown away by what comes out: a $75 million gold jackpot hidden inside the ground. Yes, brother, so much gold that just think, the ratio is overloaded. But this story is not just about gold. There is a big king hidden behind it. When did Parker make such a big search plan? And was it just a game of luck, or is there some other dangerous trick going on behind it? Now another big question is looming between the films. Will this jackpot Parker run a record-breaking season again? Or will everything be a waste for him? And most importantly, a hidden tunnel and some old mysterious relics have also been found in this hidden temple, which makes this discovery even more mysterious. This story is not just about gold, brother. There is intrigue, enmity, and a big conspiracy that comes to light. So watch the video till the end, because today we are going to see the biggest stake in the life of concept Parker Schnabel, and perhaps his biggest danger too. And yes, brother, if you are a devoted fan of Gold Rush, then do like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon so that you get every big news of Gold Rush first. Parker Schnabel's current season's condition. The beginning of this season was very special and challenging for Parker Schnabel. He had set big dreams and high goals from the very beginning. Parker knew that just performing well would not be enough this time like last time. He would have to do something that would go down in history. Parker has always been a risk-taker in the world of Gold Rush, and this time too he put everything at stake and set a target that was almost impossible for all the other miners. Parker believed that if he did not succeed this season, then both his hard work and reputation would be questioned. This was the reason why this season became a make-or-break season for him. However, Parker's path was not easy. The weather troubled him from the very beginning. Heavy rains and sudden cold made work at the mining sites very difficult. At times, the work came to a complete halt, which disrupted the production schedule. Parker had to motivate his team again and again so that they do not lose courage. In addition, the constantly deteriorating weather also affected heavy machinery. Many machines broke down, and fixing them cost both time and money. Parker had to make emergency repairs several times to prevent production from stopping. The challenges did not end there. Tensions also grew within Parker's crew. The constant pressure and long working hours exhausted the workers and led to infighting. Some workers even questioned Parker's leadership decisions. Parker not only had to fight the machines and the weather, but also had to work hard to keep his crew together. He had to face new issues every day, which increased his responsibilities even more. Despite all these difficulties, Parker did not give up. He kept his goal in mind and took every setback as a new lesson. Parker's determination and hard work are what set him apart from other miners. This season, he made it clear that no matter how bad the conditions were, he would not back down. For Parker, this is not just gold mining, but a fight for his family's legacy and his own dreams. The audience also feels connected to Parker while watching his journey because his story is not just about gold, but about struggle, courage, and victory. Dangerous collapse. Moment, everything seemed normal that day. Parker and his crew were working with full enthusiasm. Huge excavators were pulling up soil, dump trucks were constantly coming and going, and the processing plant was running at full speed. Everyone had one goal on their face: to extract as much gold as possible. Parker himself was present on the site, keeping an eye on every detail. The smell of diesel and the hum of machines was resonating in the air. Everything was going well until a strange vibration was felt. At first, the crew thought it was just the heavy machinery, but Parker's ears understood that it was something else. Suddenly, a loud crack sound resounded. Parker immediately shouted for everyone to back off, but it was too late. The ground began to crack, as if a giant had pulled it from inside. The operator of the excavator panicked and tried to move the machine back, but the soil started sliding so fast that nothing could be done. Within seconds, the entire place was covered in a cloud of dark dust. The crew members covered their eyes with their hands, but there were only sounds of shouting and thunder all around. At that moment, no one knew who was alive and who was not. Parker himself ran with all his might to save his crew. His heartbeat was so fast that even the sound of the machines seemed faint to him. One worker's leg got stuck in the mud. Parker ran and pulled him out. 2 more crew members had fallen and suffered minor injuries. All this happened in just a few moments, but for everyone that moment seemed to have stretched for hours. Parker's voice was echoing, "Everyone get out! Get out now!" When the cloud of dust finally settled, there was silence all around. Where mining work was going on just a few minutes ago, there was now a big pit and broken machines. There was a mixed feeling of fear and shock in the eyes of Parker and the crew. Everyone understood that this was not just an accident, but a warning. At that moment, Parker took a deep breath and promised himself that no matter how dangerous the situation was, he would do anything to save his people and his dream. This moment was going to prove to be the most dangerous, but most important turning point in his life. Seeing the glow of gold for the first time, the dust was slowly settling, and Parker's crew was holding their breath and looking at the place where the devastation had happened just a few minutes ago. The smell of soil and the sound of broken parts of machines were still resonating in the air. Everyone was in shock in their own way, because they had just felt death very close. Parker himself was looking around, taking deep breaths. There was only one thing going on in his mind: whether everyone was safe or not. But then, a faint golden glow fell in his eyes. At first he thought that it was an illusion of his tired eyes, but as soon as the dust cleared a little more, his eyes widened. Inside the ground, pieces of shining gold were visible from between the cracks and fallen stones. That glow was so bright and clear that it seemed as if someone had suddenly turned on a light in the dark. Parker stood there for a few moments, as if his mind was unable to understand what he was seeing. The rest of the crew slowly moved toward it, their eyes showing the same mixture of surprise and joy. Someone softly said, This is really gold?" And Parker nodded without saying anything. Parker knelt down and began to remove the soil with his hands. As the soil was removed, more and more gold began to shine out. Small pieces, some larger chunks, and even veins of gold trapped in the rocks, became visible. The sight was so incredible that some of the crew members shouted in joy. Parker's eyes became slightly moist, as he suddenly realized that this was not just a jackpot. It was the result of his years of hard work and struggle. At that moment, Parker's mind was filled with memories of his family, and especially his grandfather, who taught him the true meaning of gold mining. He gently picked up a piece of gold from the soil and, holding it in his hand, said, He staked his whole life on this moment. This line was not just for Parker, but for the entire crew, because this discovery gave real meaning to their hard work. At that moment, everyone realized that this was not just gold, but the reality of their dreams. True size of discovery. $75 million jackpot. As the dust settled, Parker put the team to work methodically. First, loose soil was removed, then walls were secured by scaling with a bar. As the clearing progressed, the number of glowing fragments grew and the pattern became clearer. This was no longer an isolated find, but a continuous rich zone. The crew began step-by-step sampling, pan tests every 5 to 10 feet, then controlled samples in bags. The initial pans showed heavy gold mixed with black sands, and the next grids got even denser in color. Away from the processing plant, hand-done tests also returned high-grade signals, giving everyone confidence. The tag, depth, and GPS point of each sample were immediately logged. The clearing revealed an old tunnel behind a collapsed section. Old wooden support beams, char marks, and some rusted tools were still in place. Along this drift, a braided network of quartz veins was visible with visible gold in several places. Crosscuts showed that the veins spread out in multiple branches, not from one point. This suggested that this zone had been historically worked, but was incomplete. To calculate an estimate, Parker built a grid-based block model with a geologist. The average grade was calculated from core-like channels, and recoverable ounces were estimated assuming a conservative tonnage. Even after subtracting losses, dilution, and recovery factors, the total ounces were so large that the value at market rate was around $75 million. The team deliberately made low-side assumptions so that the number was not overstated and remained safe according to ground realities. As soon as these figures came in, there was a moment of silence at the site. It was a mixture of shock, relief, and joy. Some did a small celebration by touching their helmets, some became teary-eyed, and some just stood at a distance and kept looking at the vein. Parker took a deep breath, looked at the crew, and said that this jackpot was the result of their collective hard work. In that moment, he explained the next steps to everyone in a disciplined manner, keeping safety as the top priority. Parker secured the site, raised the perimeter, and approved a phased plan for controlled extraction. Flags were placed on sensitive areas, water control and ventilation checks were repeated. Accounting and logistics teams were called in to align new strategies for fuel, spares, and ore handling. This was no longer just a discovery. It had become a systematic, high-stakes operation that Parker was going to pursue with utmost care and professionalism. Mystery Tunnel and Hidden Relics. As Parker and his crew were clearing the collapsed section, they noticed something strange. While removing the soil, they suddenly saw a narrow passage that looked completely different from the rest of the mine. Its walls were made of old, rotten wooden support beams, on which the marks of moisture and time were clearly visible. Parker shone the torchlight into the tunnel, and darkness and mysterious silence spread all around. This place clearly looked like an old mining operation, but Parker had never seen a map or mention of this part. The team slowly stepped inside. The air inside was heavy and damp, which clearly made it clear that this part must have been sealed for many decades, perhaps centuries. As they went further inside, they saw some old tools and equipment. These were not like normal modern mining tools, but were rusted and of primitive designs made by hand. An old iron pickaxe, wooden buckets, and chisels made of stone were scattered there. All of these were covered in a thick layer of soil, as if time had completely covered them. But the most mysterious thing was found when Parker saw some strange symbols and markings on the wall. These were not normal mining marks. Some of these symbols looked like they belonged to an ancient civilization. Circular designs, cross-like marks, and some patterns that no one could easily understand. This scene was mind-boggling for Parker and his crew. They had seen many types of geological formations in the gold rush, but this was something completely different. Some people in the crew started whispering among themselves that perhaps this was not just a mine, but part of an old secret path, which was deliberately hidden for some reason. Parker immediately ordered to secure this part and said that no one would touch it until everything was properly documented. He thought that if these symbols were decoded, then perhaps these could be the key not just to mining history, but to some forgotten mystery. The suspense of that moment was also echoing in Parker's heart. He said in a low voice, "Was it just gold? Or an unsolved mystery of history?" This question echoed in the minds of everyone present there. Now, this story was not just about a jackpot, but about a secret from the past that could perhaps change the world. Reaction of fans and media. As soon as the news of this incredible discovery of Parker Schnabel came out, there was a storm on social media. Gold Rush viewers started sharing clips on Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube. Within a few hours, the footage of Parker's collapsed mine went viral. The cloud of dust, the stopping of machines, and the panic of the crew were clearly visible in the video, and this further increased the curiosity among the people. Threads opened on Reddit where fans were giving theories about how deep this jackpot actually was and who might have built this tunnel. Everyone was giving their opinion on Twitter. Some were praising Parker, while others were calling it a publicity stunt of Discovery Channel. Many people were openly asking the question, has this really happened, or has it been set up to increase the TRP of the show? Some users even compared and wrote that this jackpot is the biggest twist in the history of Gold Rush. At the same time, there was a flood of reaction videos on YouTube, where people were analyzing every small detail of this discovery. Trending hashtags like #ParkerJackpot, #GoldRushCollapse, and #75MillionFind started trending on top. Parker's fans were calling it a miracle, while some people were spreading conspiracy theories that this tunnel could be connected to old miners or secret societies. This buzz made Gold Rush a headline in mainstream media as well. News channels and magazines also started covering this news, which brought Parker's name back to the global level. Parker versus Tony Beets rivalry connection. The impact of this historic discovery of Parker Schnabel was not limited to the media only. It had the most profound impact on his old rival, Tony Beets. Gold Rush viewers know that the rivalry between Parker and Tony has been going on for years. Parker has always been an ambitious and fast-moving miner, while Tony is an old-fashioned but extremely powerful miner. There have been many clashes between the two, whether it is land deals or production records. When Tony got the news of Parker's $75 million jackpot, according to sources, he was visibly shocked. Reports said that Tony gave mixed reactions to this discovery in front of his crew. Some insiders claim that Tony fears that this jackpot could make Parker the undisputed king of the industry. Parker's jackpot will not only skyrocket his production numbers, but will also attract investors and sponsors. Fans are also making many theories about this rivalry. People on Reddit and Twitter are writing that this jackpot is a danger signal for Tony's empire. Will Parker leave Tony behind now? This question has become a constant topic of discussion. Some fans even believe that Tony might try to block Parker's next moves, whether through legal means or new land grabs. This rivalry between Tony and Parker has always been a big USP of the show, but now the stakes are higher than ever. Parker not only has the gold, but also the power and influence that comes with the jackpot. Tony, on the other hand, is not a man to give up easily. Fans believe that this rivalry will reach a new turning point in the upcoming episodes, where personal grudges, business rivalries, and survival instincts will all collide. Now the question is, will Parker use this jackpot to make his empire even bigger, or will Tony turn the tables? Either way, this battle will definitely be worth watching for Gold Rush fans. Interference of government and authorities. After such a big discovery, Parker's troubles were not limited to just extracting gold. As soon as the news spread outside and went viral in the media, the government and mining authorities also noticed this jackpot. Within a few days, vehicles of government officials and inspectors reached the site. They made it clear to Parker that proper documentation and new permits would be required for a discovery of this scale. The authorities first sealed the site for safety investigation. They said that the collapse proved that working there was extremely dangerous. Parker's crew was ordered to temporarily halt, due to which mining operations stopped suddenly. This was a big blow for Parker, because stopping of machines meant both production loss and time loss. Apart from this, legal battles also started. Some old mining rights holders started claiming Parker's discovery that this land was earlier in their family's name. Parker had to hire a team of lawyers to keep his jackpot safe. He understood that now it is not just a game of mining, but has become a game of politics and power. Questions started arising among the fans and media. Will Parker have to give up his jackpot? This suspense kept increasing, and the pressure on Parker increased even more. Now, every decision for him was important, not only for his crew, but for the entire industry. Parker's emotional breakdown and determination. So many challenges and pressure shook Parker to the core. One night, Parker was sitting alone in his office looking at maps and reports. It was dark outside, but only the jackpot and the problems related to it were going on in his mind. He was wondering why so many obstacles were coming when, after so many years of hard work, his dream was close to coming true. Fatigue was clearly visible on his face. For a while, tears also came in his eyes. Parker said softly to himself, "This jackpot is not just gold. It is my family's dream." He remembered his grandfather and father, who taught him the true meaning of mining. This was not just a discovery, but a way to carry forward their legacy. But Parker is not the kind of person who gives up in front of circumstances. He took a deep breath and promised himself that no matter how many obstacles come, he will not let this jackpot go. The very next day, he gathered his crew and motivated them. There was no fear in his eyes now, but a fire was burning. Parker clearly said that this jackpot is not just his victory, but the victory of the dreams of the entire crew and their families. This emotional speech boosted the morale of the crew. Parker's determination convinced everyone that whether it is the government, rivals, or anyone else, he will not back down. Now this fight was not just for gold, but had become a fight for respect, legacy, and survival. Preparations for the future season and new challenges. Parker Schnabel knows that this jackpot of $75 million is not just a big win, but an even bigger challenge for the times to come. After the collapse and government interference, Parker has now decided to change his entire strategy. He has ordered new machines that are more modern and efficient, so that production can be faster and safer than before. Along with this, Parker is exploring new mining sites, which are connected to the jackpot zone. Discovery Channel has also given hints that viewers will get a glimpse of Parker's new plans in the upcoming episodes. High-tech tools like drone surveys, advanced scanners, and 3D mapping will be used. There is a buzz among the fans that Parker's next target will be to expand the jackpot zone. But the big question is, will this jackpot increase his strength manifold, or will it give birth to new rivals and threats? Parker's every move will now be watched by fans or his enemies. Dramatic climax. Mystery revealed. As Parker was getting the jackpot zone cleaned, the mystery of the mystery tunnel deepened. Discovery's crew tried to film that part several times, but Parker repeatedly stopped them. He said that this part is unstable and not safe for anyone. But fans believe that there may be some other reason behind this. According to insiders, the Discovery team has a secret footage, which has not been released yet. In that footage, some such relics and symbols are seen inside the tunnel, which are much older and mysterious than gold mining. Parker's silence and hiding this footage has raised questions in people's minds. Was there only gold inside? Or something that does not want to be shown to the world? This suspense makes the upcoming episodes even more exciting. Fans are now eagerly waiting for when Discovery will finally reveal that footage. Parker Schnabel's journey from the beginning to the jackpot discovery was very emotional and thrilling. Despite bad weather, machine breakdowns, crew challenges, government obstacles, and rivalry with Tony Beets, Parker did not give up. This jackpot made him the world's most famous miner, but it also opened the door to new questions and dangers. Powerful closing line: Parker Schnabel's jackpot is not just a victory, it is also the biggest test for him. But the question is, will this treasure make his empire or break it? Question to the viewer: what do you think? Is this discovery a blessing or a curse for Parker? And yes, friends, if you are also a true fan of Gold Rush and want to be the first to see every twist of Parker's historic journey, then like the video, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell icon so that every update reaches you first. This is just the beginning. The real story is yet to come.